What's up, everybody? It's your boys. It's Dale's. It's Maddie. It's Flyers Talk A2D. They always, they always, they always seem to get you going here. Flyers, Penguins. Flyers win in a shootout by a final score of 3-2. We are here to give you post game. We're going to talk all about the game. We're going to discuss the fireworks after the game, what happened there, what's going to come from this going forward to game 2 in the season series between these two teams. We're also going to talk about Jetlachenko getting sent down to the OHL. A lot to talk about. Let's get at it. Time to talk some puck. Let's get the conversation going.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of Flyers Talk A2D right here on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Cincinnati, along with the Dark Wind, Brian Daly.
Whew, what a game.
You're not kidding. A wild first game, the first shots in the Battle of Pennsylvania here tonight, and the Flyers take the win in the first of, I believe it'll be 4 games that they'll be playing against each other this year. So it's going to be interesting when game 2 of this season series rolls around, to say the least. Anyway, we are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. If you have any aches and pains, go hit up the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, over at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. And then after a few sessions with them, whether you go to Burlington or Cherry Hill, New Jersey, you will not be feeling those aches and pains anymore. You'll be feeling pretty good, like new. You'll be back to doing the things you love to do outside and inside when you got your days off, and you'll be back to working just fine without really any issues. So all the benefits, go to specializedphysicaltherapy.com for that. The poll question for today: sending Jetlachenko back to the OHL is the best for his development. Agree or disagree? Obviously, there's been some disappointments with the fact that Jetlachenko will not be staying in a Flyers jersey for the duration of this season, that he will be heading back down to the OHL instead. And, well, honestly, when it comes down to it, it's always a difficult decision when, you have young talents, but Danny has a great quote that he, put out there earlier today. He's willing to take the criticism now, and, he's willing to take the criticism now, and he'll benefit from it later. And Luchenko will. I think he will. And he said it the best way. He doesn't want to stunt his development and his growth. And he feels like if he forced him into the NHL, it's exactly what would happen. So I agree with the move. I agree with it, honestly. It's like, listen, if he's not ready, he's not ready. That's not that he doesn't have the talent. He does. It's just that the NHL is a different beast when all you've done is play junior hockey. Yeah. It's different.
Yeah. I agree with you, Maddie. I agree with the poll too. I think it's the best move in the 8 or 9 games that he's played at the NHL level. I mean, last year I thought he had a better stint to begin the season. This year, kind of sort of battling an injury. He just never really got to be 100%. And to me, I thought he was barely noticeable out there. I know he wasn't playing a ton of minutes, but when he was out on the ice, I didn't hear his name. So
right.
To me, that tells me that he just needs a little bit more seasoning. The thing to remember with Jetlachenko is he's 19 years old. He's got a lot of time to go. He's probably not going to hit his prime for another 3 or 4 years. So I would rather him gone to the AHL, but since they haven't changed the rule officially yet for the AHL age change, which is going to turn to 19 next season. Yeah, he had nowhere else to go. And from what I understand, I heard a rumor that, the Flyers are going to be talking to the Gulf Storm about trading him to a better organization where he can kind of take that next step. I feel like he's kind of hit his peak there and he can't really grow so much. So if they can wind up, what's up, Don? if he can wind up making a trade happen, I think that could be a better situation for Jetlachenko to kind of take that next step in his development is to get out of the Gulf Storm.
Yeah, and I think that if that organization over there in the OHL is not helping his development or his growth, then yeah, you have to, as that is your player, your prospect that you drafted, the Flyers want to take the steps necessary to make sure that he's in the best position to grow and succeed as he continues his junior hockey career before eventually coming up to the big organization and being able to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means facilitating a trade, so be it. Go to the organization that's going to help you grow with your talent. So I'm totally fine with them trying to push a trade through with the Gulf Storm.
Yeah, and then Danny's done a lot of good as far as creating good rapport with guys throughout different leagues, and even throughout the other GMs in the NHL. So I could see something happening, but I mean, how soon it's going to happen, I obviously nobody knows. But Danny's done a really good job at creating good rapport with other leagues and other front office guys. So I can see it happening. I mean, Danny's a smart dude. He knows what to say, knows how to say it, and I honestly don't think that this is something that's going to be out of the realm of possibilities to kind of get Jet in a better situation.
Right. Joe saying we dominated that game and had to win 3 different times because of the refs. And
yeah, but they were all legit.
So with that being said, it's a good transition over to the Flyers and the Penguins. What a game this was. Starting off in the first period, feeling out process, I feel like, because the Penguins are not the same Penguins as they were several years ago. They've missed the playoffs the last 3 years, which is weird to say that out loud. And then for the Flyers, obviously this is not the same team that was here, last year in terms of attitude and in terms of where their heads are at. They're in a different place now than they were last year. Last year was a bit of a struggle. This year, like you had said a few weeks ago, Bri, it looks like they're having fun playing again. So they're not the same kind of teams facing each other this go around, and so naturally the feel out begins. Urson kind of gave up a softie in the first period. Bit of a bad goal to give up in the first to Brislow. Wound up just not hugging the post properly, and it just winds up going right underneath his arm. And it's like, ugh. Not a good one for Urson on that one. He got beat twice there on that one. The other one, kind of just a freak knuckle puck going right into the net, where Crosby just happened to try to chip the puck into the slot, bounces off of, I believe it was Sanheim's stick, winds up flying
off of Steeler's body.
Off Steeler's body, actually.
Yeah.
Off of his body, flies up into the air, and of course, it goes right over Urson's shoulder, who does not see it. He has no idea where the puck is, and it goes right over him and into the back of the net. It's like, of course. Of course. That had to be the one to tie it up. But luckily, though, he redeemed himself in big ways. He made several key saves. Crosby did try to catch him on a sneak. He tried to sneak it on that same spot where he gave up the softie earlier, and no. That time Urson caught him. But shootout, though, crushed it. Absolutely crushed it in the shootout. And then for the Flyers, give credit where credit is due, man. Even though the Penguins scored first, they didn't let it get them down. They kept at it. They kept driving, and eventually they got rewarded with a goal, and they tied it up. And then after that, they went into the second period. They took the lead. And then, the bad luck has to ensue. And then, of course, overtime, and we all know what happened there with the goal that was disallowed. And then, luckily, the This new Flyers team seems to have an idea of how shootouts work, which is kind of novel in Flyers history. So luckily they were able to survive and win in a shootout of all things.
Yeah. Yeah. So this game was interesting to me, and I was able to jump in late. I wasn't able to really watch the first half of the game. I was at work till about 7 o'clock. But first of all, let's not overshadow the fact that TK got his 200th career goal tonight. So the tip of the cap to TK. Big goal on the power play to give the Flyers a lead 2-1 into the second period. So tip of the cap to him. The thing that I like about this Flyers team is they don't have a will to give up yet, and hopefully they keep that feeling down. Because this Pittsburgh team is playing way better hockey than everybody's expected them to play this year. I think they're getting a good goaltending from both Silyav and Jari so far this year. Obviously, there's kind of a new regime behind the bench, which sometimes is helps the team kind of take that get off to a quick start. Crosby looks like he's playing 24 years old again. He's got 7 goals in 7 games. This kid Ben Kindle looks like he's the real deal. He just drafted him in the first round of this past year's draft. He looks like he's legit. I don't want to overshadow any of that, but the Flyers looked really resilient tonight. They had a couple situations where they could have laid down and died. I think they probably could have done that last year. I probably would have done that last year had the Penguins get a bounce like they did on the Crosby goal. Probably would have laid down and died and let Pittsburgh take that game. But the thing that I like about this team is the resiliency. I love that this team doesn't give up. I love the energy this team brings. I mean, look at Zegers tonight. Zegers was getting in everybody's face. He was barking.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing a lot of chirping. And for him to be one of those guys that's doing that, I think that says a lot about the energy of this team and that this team is going to have each other's backs. That little brawl at the end of the end of overtime.
Yeah.
If you look at it's not the usual suspects out there. It was Zegers, Drysdale, Forster. I think York was the 4th guy out there. Like, those are guys that aren't going to go out there and get in the scrums or anything like that. You love to see it. It's reigniting this rivalry, which, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I think is back with the way that this game was. But what's up, John? What's up, Prez? What's up, Swoopy? What's up, all you guys in the chat? Bryce. But the fact they didn't give up is great. Yeah, you can probably say that the refs took the game away from them a couple of different times. I mean, the onside goal or the offside goal was offside. You even saw Tyson Forster say that might be coming back. So it's okay. Yeah, it is what it is. They got the win in the end. Like Maddie, like you said, they got they figured out the shootouts. You finally have some guys who have some talent, who are able to stick handle really well. And it's a big thing. It's a big thing. What's up, LJ? What's up, Greggy? It's a big thing. And you love seeing it moving forward.
Yeah. And I think the thing that, we can take away from this game is that the Flyers and, what I loved about what they did right there at the end of overtime, the instigation of the issue where Witherspoon decided he was just going to give a little bump to Ziegler or to Forster, and Forster's just like, okay, and then he gives him a little chop on the leg there, give him a little love tap, and then next thing you know, we're off to the races, and everyone's getting angry at each other. It's like that you see the Flyers just then immediately pouncing. And it's like, good. They're sticking up for each other. And they're sticking up not only for each other, they're really not afraid to be, they're not taking shit. They're just like, okay, all right. And what that says to me is that this team does have something going on up here. There's some type of confidence building in them. And that's very important if this team is going to continue to be successful moving forward. They have to have confidence in themselves. I mean, in general, you need to have confidence in life. But
Mhm.
in hockey, as the ebb and flow of the season goes, these guys need to not only feel like they've got this game, they've also got to feel like, hey, I've got you. Don't worry about it. We're going to
Right.
actually kill it.
Right.
And I feel like that's what that says to me, that this team is strong together, that they're united together, that there isn't any divisions going on right now. They're working together to make this actually a thing, to
Yeah.
build up this culture.
The one thing though I'll say is I love that they all have each other's backs, and I love what Zegers did tonight. The one thing I didn't like that he did was take that little cheap shot at Noah Akari while he was
Mm,
down and out, and he just kind of slapped him upside the head a couple times.
right.
Like, come on, man. I'm all for you getting in somebody's face and chirping. Don't make a little bitch move like that. Like that's a
What
little
I
that's a little chicken shit stuff.
Well, that I am gonna say. I think the announcer did bring up a good point that if Achari remembers that, and he will remember that, every hockey
Mm-hmm.
player remembers some bullshit that's done to them. Next game that these two meet, I can almost guarantee you something will happen with
Oh yeah,
that. There will be a receipt. It has been taken and it will be given back at some point in time.
yeah.
How that's going to happen, I don't know, but Zegras better be prepared for when Pittsburgh and Philly meet again, because he will be the one targeted, most likely. Out of everybody there, I don't think Forster is going to be the one. It's going to be him.
And that game will be happening December 1st, so we don't have to wait long.
Hmm. Swoopy saying Flyers have too many sane side guys playing on same lines. They get puck on the wrong side often or can't get a good look. Um, I mean, scoring chances wise, that was pretty up for them. They were on the upswing there towards the end. I mean, yeah, I know obviously quality over quantity, but I also feel like too the way that this team works, skilled players wise, do we have those pure goal scorers on this team? I think we might have one or two that are still developing right now. But when it comes to like full on ready to just snipe it at, top shelf every 5 seconds. We don't have that guy immediately right now. So I think a lot of times the way the Flyers, I guess the way they've been proceeding has been just try to get that puck on net and try to get something going, at the end of the day. Seems to be the modus operandi that they're trying. They do try to passing plays. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get that puck in front more often than not to try and see if they can bunch up in front of the net, which I get it. Makes sense. If you don't have the guys who are going to snipe it, try to score ugly. The ugly ones count too. So I see where their philosophy is going with that. They do try those ones on the rush with some players, but not all the players at the end of the day. Sometimes they do try to get the dirty goals, which I'm not against at the end of the day.
I mean, it's tough, Swoopy. It's you're in a league that's you know you get 18 position players, and you really only have a left-hander and a right-hander. You're gonna have guys that are going to be opposite sides, so it's kind of tough to really match sides for everybody's position. There's going to be guys that are going to be a right-handed shot that are going to play off the right wing. These guys at their age, they know what they're doing as far as their handedness goes. They're going to go short side, or they're going to look for a pass play and go, cross ice. Some of the defensemen, they're going to take shots from the point. These guys know what they're going to do. So the handedness to me doesn't really make much of a difference. It just kind of is what it is. There's only two-handedness that you could be. You could be lefty or you could be righty. That's not going to usually dictate what side that you're playing on.
Right, right. Benny's saying, thank you. Have been saying that the ugly ones always count. Swoopy always says,
Oh man.
take that as you will. As for Swoopy saying Mitchkov is really due. I feel he will be bringing some excitement soon. Look forward to it. I think so. I think that he's working on his stuff. I'm not worried. I think he'll get it back up. I just again give it time.
Yeah, Mitchie's starting to look like himself a little bit more.
Right.
You could see it tonight. Toe dragging, utilizing some of his speed a little bit. I think he's starting to get back into shape.
I mean, the move he made in the shootout was fucking spectacular. So
Anaheim's going to shoot overtime right now. Guess who's having himself a hell of a start to his season?
Let me guess. Gauthier?
Cutter's got 6 goals on the night or on the season.
I was going to say 6 goals in one night? What the fuck?
Yeah, my bad.
What does he think? He's Sabanajad all of a sudden, where he can just score 5 goals whenever he fucking feels like it?
At least it's not the Ovech trick. That's what, 9? He had 9 in that commercial?
Yes. Not in real life, by the way, folks. In case you're wondering, that is not based on a true story. Although, with Ovechkin being the guy who has the most goals in history, I wouldn't put it past him. So, anyway.
But yeah, it's been they've been fun to watch. Cutter's looking great. So you know what? I'm gonna bring this up a little bit later, but getting back to the game, the one thing I really enjoyed about this is they took a couple things away from the Penguins that they should have. I'm still trying to figure out why in overtime when Malkin scored, it wasn't too many men. Apparently, when there's a penalty called, the goalie jumping to the bench, it's considered a premature substitution. I think is how they phrased it.
Yes.
Which I guess it's not really too many men, but in that same breath, you're swapping players, I guess, because it's not a line change. That's where it kind of deviates from the rule.
What's weird about it too is that apparently the Dave Jackson can't even give you a reason as to why that is the rule. At the end of the day, it's like, so what you're telling me is that the NHL never thought to tie up this loose end in the rule book, at any point in time. That just it sounds like something that they should have addressed a long time ago. If that is the rule, it's like it should be too many men on the ice. Plus, also what also is weird, and this is kind of strange. So the penalty was on the Flyers. Okay. First off, they completely ignored a penalty that happened in Pittsburgh zone that was again on the Penguins, but that's besides the point. The point is that so you're calling the penalty on the Flyers, and it was a penalty. I'm not going to say it wasn't. However, I don't think at any point any of the Flyers got possession of the puck. So even so,
good point.
So yeah, even so, it's like, so you blew the play dead, and technically Malkin scored, but the reason why he scores because Urson got up because he thought that the play was over. But my point is that so you essentially not only robbed the Flyers at one point of the game, you robbed the Penguins of the game too at one point too, because you have this weird rule for the premature substitution, and the Flyers never once got possession of the puck, and they were having a penalty called on them.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It was messy, very, very messy situation that happened there.
I mean, ultimately, it did take the goal back that Malkin did score, so it did take away the game-winning goal that the Penguins would have had.
Right.
So I'm good with that. The thing I just don't understand the rule, but I mean, like I said, I guess what it really comes down to is having to deviate from a line change, swap to a delayed penalty. But I
Yeah.
guess, I mean, like I said, it doesn't really, I guess I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter because Flyers wound up winning. But I just thought it was an interesting kind of explanation was he was saying is because it's not a line change, it's essentially premature substitution because um, it's a delayed penalty and it's not because I thought they initially was going to be it's a 4-on-4 now. Malkin got off the bench or jumped off the bench early. Silyov's not at the bench. They blew the whistle as soon as Malkin got the puck. Okay, we're going to have an even strength 4-on-4 here in overtime. Let's go. That wasn't the case, obviously, but like I said, they took the goal back, which is always a good thing. So you do like to see that. But ultimately, I thought Benny brought up a good point, or not Benny, sorry. Joe brought up a good point earlier in the show. He said the Flyers down. I thought the Flyers did a really good job in the first two periods of puck control, maintaining zone pressure, and getting shots on Silyev. I thought Silyev had a fantastic game. I think this game could have been way worse as far as the score goes. Silyev made a bunch of stupid saves that he probably shouldn't have. So he really kept them in this game, and Pittsburgh should be thankful that they got a point out of this game because realistically, I don't think they should have.
No, they did not deserve the point that they got today. But at the end of the day, Shielov's, he delivered it to him at the end of the day. Let's see. Joe's saying, I'm patient when it comes to Mitchkov, but I am getting sick of his blind behind the back passes that always result in transition chance for the other team.
Yeah.
Again, growing pains. He'll learn. And then he also goes on to say, not loving Kate centering a line with D'Lo.
Same.
He is too good a play with the fourth liners. And I agree, Kate should not be a fourth liner. He has proven that he has more than enough skill to be on a higher line. But again, we're also going to see the jumbling of the lines, unfortunately, at times, because this is a team that still, as much as we like to say that the identity is getting there, it has not been completely formed yet. So we're unfortunately going to see this happen. I'm not saying I agree with where he's at. I don't.
It's not, for me, it's not even a question of where he's at. You can't break that lineup right now. It's the best line you got. Forster's one of the hottest players on this team. Brink had a filthy shootout goal tonight. Right. How do you break that lineup? I can't see them doing that. There's no good reason to do that.
Right, and Cates also has had his moments in the sun too, where he's scored several goals.
Dostal is dirty, by the way. Dostal's about to kill off a penalty in overtime.
Interesting. Benny's saying you can't be outworked in the third period against a team on a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's a good point, Benny. It's a great point, Benny.
Yeah,
because they were outworked. Pittsburgh came back in that third period. I thought they played way too conservative, especially in the offensive zone. They didn't really get many good chances in that third period at all. Most of their chances came in the second.
Right. I think it was also I think it was wanting to protect the lead, which, again, as I've said before, with defensive hockey, there is a good way to do it. There's a bad way to do it, and it's a love-hate relationship. It's great when you've got the players that can just shut a team down. It's another thing when you just let the team keep coming back at you, and you're just hanging back, hoping to stop them from scoring. It's like, that is not protecting the lead. That's just letting the team have multiple opportunities to eventually score on you. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, Ducks just caught a break. Ducks caught a break. Oh, my gosh. Evan Rodriguez beat out a puck, and the Ducks got the icing call. All because Jackson Lacombe leaned in like a hair. I love it. Let's go. Going to a shootout.
So, got a question here from Priz that I starred. Saying Thomas Harley, 8-year, $10.59 million per year extension. Prices are going up for young players' extensions. Which young Flyer would you be willing to lock up right now? I'm thinking Forster.
I got to look at the there's some jawing going on after this game too. I think the Ducks got wind of what was happening, and they were like, you know what, let's do that.
Yeah,
they're going to do that too to the defending Stanley Cup champs.
Yeah, Yeah, let's just show up the champs. Why not? I mean, hey, listen, that's what you do. Got a bullseye on your back. Got time to work on it, Panthers.
So to answer Priz's question's kind of I don't. It's tough to answer right now because the guys that I would lock up are guys that you can't really lock anybody up right now because some of these guys have already been re-signed. So the question is going to have to wait at least another year or two to really be able to answer. Like
Well,
Forster, I get it. Like I see where he's coming from. So he's probably going to say after his contract is up, which makes sense. To me, it would be Forster. I would absolutely 100% lock up Forster. He's just
yeah.
smart with the puck. He's good. He's got such a heavy shot. I love his IQ. He's smart in the offensive zone. He's pretty reliable on the defensive side as well. You can use him in multiple situations. He could play both center and he can play off the wing. So to me, I'm with Pritt on this. It's to me, it's got to be Forster.
Forster still has what looks like 2 years on his contract, and then he's
Yeah,
an RFA.
yeah. This is his. He's in his new contract now.
Okay. And then, I mean, Zegras is an RFA next year.
Yeah, he still has a lot to be desired before I give him a long term deal. Hey Heather,
Oh, hey, Heather, what's up? Sorry, I was looking at my phone there.
let's go Leo.
Oh, actually, I probably should put my phone away. Got teachers here.
Ah, who's in net? Is that Tarasov? Yeah, it is. This is the
Yeah,
first I'm getting to watch this game, so
Uh,
stupid
L-
Flyers taking my attention.
LJ saying they look like they're not working. Their problem is their lack of foot speed. It's not that the Flyers have a lack of speed. It's just that, like Benny was saying, they were getting outworked. If you're,
Yeah,
if you gotta keep the pace up. The Flyers do have, the ability to speed. Like we've seen players go fast on this squad. It's just
tip
that,
it.
yeah, and it's not that they don't have speed. It's just that they weren't working in the third period. So that's
I
really
mean,
where the problem was.
yeah. So speed's not everything in the NHL. Yeah, you need speed. Absolutely, 100% agree. You definitely need some speed, but it's not everything. I think Terry just scored. Yeah, let's go.
Oh,
Um,
Troy Terry.
speed isn't everything. You definitely need be able to utilize speed in certain situations. When you have your odd man rushes and breakaways, that's what really where you need the speed. Otherwise, you just need to be able to stick with your man, be able to um, use more physicality than anything to box players out. And yeah, I mean, I agree. It's definitely Tippett. Tippett's definitely their fastest guy, but like I said, speed isn't everything in the NHL. It's definitely a speed game now, but you still need to have some physicality, and I think that's the one thing that the Flyers do have and they utilize really well.
Well, I think give it time. I think Mitchkov will probably pick up the pace on his speed side too, I believe.
I agree. Oh, what the heck? They scored.
Um, Bobby Brink is actually an RFA next year.
Ew. Oh, McTavish, you dirty, dirty boy. Oh, that was nasty.
Oh, thank you, Heather. I appreciate the warning. I really couldn't afford another write up. I'd be in detention.
Oh, he
Let's
left his
see.
legs wide open.
So, I mean, yeah, from what it looks like, because like I
Game
said,
set
Brink.
and match. Let's go. Sorry, Maddie.
No, I got you. Brink is an RFA. Come next year. Brink keeps it up, though. I would have to say you'd have to take a look into that just a
I'm
little
not giving.
bit.
I'm not locking him up though.
I'm
I'd
not
give him a
saying you
decent
lock him
deal,
up,
but
but
not
I'm
like.
just saying give some consideration. If he keeps up the play.
Oh, I mean, I'm keeping him regardless. He RFA, you have his rights, so I'm. If he keeps it up, he's to me he's working his way to a 3 or 4 year extension right now.
Yeah, I
I'd
would say
probably pay
so.
him around 4.5, maybe 5.
Yeah, I think that would be fair. I think the only real big deals that the Flyers still currently have that are active. I mean, Owen Tippett's got a long one, And then
Yeah.
so does Coots, and so does Konechny. I mean, Coots was given his deal because they were pretty much going to make him the captain, and Konechny was a no-brainer. So they're the only ones that are currently full-on locked in right now.
Yeah.
And Tippett's contract is ironclad. So,
Yeah. And there's not like, to me, like, the guys that I would sign, I've already signed an extension. So it's not really like there's anybody that I would really like lock up to a contract like that. At least at the moment. Like I said, Brink, I need to see a little bit more out of. Give him a bridge deal like you gave Forster. Forster, and at the end of his second year, at the end of this contract, if he's still is where he is, I'm good. I'm locking him up. Zegras looks great. I think did he have another point again tonight?
Yes.
So he's got 9 points in 9 games. Like I said before, the kid's got his swagger back. So, he exploded against the Islanders.
Yes, he did.
And then he's had he's averaging a point per game. You can't ask more than that.
No.
I would be discussing with his agent if he wants to stay here. And with the way that he's playing and the way that he's really fitting in with this team, I would be shocked if he doesn't want to resign here.
Right. I think if anything, Zegras, you talk about a guy who I think is really, this is a perfect prime example of change of location does you wonders. If you want to look up the definition of that in the dictionary, look at this trade that the Flyers went and made with the Ducks to go get him.
They lost the first one, but they're certainly winning the second one. And by the way, LJ, love you, brother. Appreciate you every week you're here. Love it. Flyers are 5-3-1 with the roster that they have right now. They're currently sitting in the wild card spot. I know we're 9 games in. I'm not really going to bank too much on that, but I'm just saying they're 5-3-1 right now. They're looking pretty good. I'm not going to complain too much about the lack of speed on this team, the lack of 5-on-5, or the lack of odd man rushes. They're finding ways to win hockey games. That's all that matters, brother. That's all that matters. And they're beating teams they probably shouldn't be beating either. Like, they should be beating Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is playing out of their mind right now.
I mean, hell, they beat the Islanders. The Islanders have been a freaking difficult team to go up against. So, I mean, they beat Minnesota in overtime. So, they've been busting their ass getting these victories.
I'm surprised that Minnesota's down as low as they are right now. They're not playing their best hockey right now.
No, they're not. At least the Flyers were able to take advantage of that.
They have 3 wins right now.
That's pretty bad for them.
3 wins.
That's not good for them.
And for Prez, tip of the cap, brother. You guys, above 500 for now. Enjoy it while you can.
Heather saying she wish she could stay, but she's got to grade papers now. Well, you enjoy doing that, Heather. Have fun. Don't grade too harshly. I mean, I hope not. Give them a couple of breaks. It's only the beginning of the year.
Oh God, I hope I pass. I don't want to fail. I don't need to fail again.
I already did because she's already mad at me because of my phone.
No, so she was going to give you a pass. I just hope I didn't fail. She fails me all the time. I don't think she likes me anymore.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, you shouldn't have said those things about, Fedotov when you did.
Yeah.
4-1 Wings right now. Okay. All right.
Wings came looking for win number 7, or they finished with 4-1.
Man.
Up 4-1.
Yeah.
So they're looking for win number 7.
All right. Wings coming out to play early on. I mean, they have a lot to prove. This team has to get off the schneid and make the playoffs. There's no excuse for them anymore.
Yeah.
They beat Carolina, but got screwed. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough loss to take.
I mean, you know how I feel, Matty, about that. But,
I know.
It is what it is. I don't think they got screwed. I think it was the right call. It might have been just the slightest. Might have been one of the softer goaltender interferences called that I've seen, but Sanheim should not have been in the crease. He was in the crease.
But again, I will say this, though. On a positive note, the Flyers didn't let that get them down, because the very next game, those same Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers that they lost to in Florida came to Philly, and they beat them in the home opener. And that got the ball rolling for them as they move forward. Sure, they had a little bit of a miscue against Winnipeg. That was a bad game. But they've been playing great since then. And it's like, you know what? They rose from the ashes like a phoenix on that Carolina loss. If anything, I think it motivated them to beat the next team.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Jim?
Yo, Jim. Saying this was a good point for the Penguins. 7-2-2 and the points in 7 straight games. Are the Rangers really this bad?
They might be.
They have plummeted. Actually, I don't think plummet is the right word. I think they got thrown out of a fucking plane at 1,000 feet and have just been crashing down to earth big time right now. Since then, no parachute at all.
Or can we really say that? I mean, can we say this? Is Mike Sullivan a product of having Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Marc-Andre Fleury?
You might
I
be
mean,
onto something.
the Rangers on paper are a very good team, and I get it. We're not even 10 games into the season yet, but the Rangers have a really good lineup too. Sometimes it does take a little while for a team to adjust to a new coach, but I'm also throwing that question out there because there might be something to it that maybe Mike Sullivan was only as good without or with Crosby. It's a possibility. I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season kind of plays out, but I mean, right now, that's my question.
It's interesting. It's interesting when you think about it. I mean, we saw what happened when Dan Bylsma was gone from Pittsburgh, and that did not end well when he left Pittsburgh. So I don't know. You might be onto something there. We might be seeing another Dan Bylsma situation start to pop up here.
I mean,
Where
in my
maybe
opinion, in my opinion, I think Sullivan was there too long. Bosma was there too long. But yeah, I mean that kind of proves my point there, Jim. Is Sullivan moves on to the Rangers, struggling early. But this new coach, who's never had been a head coach in the NHL, any team in the league, he's 7-2-2 to start his career. Kind of my point. Is he having success because of Sidney Crosby? That like I said, that will be my question.
I mean, Jim does bring up a good point, though. Do you think Crosby and Malkin actually listen to Sullivan? Not a chance. I mean,
oh no, I 100% think they did.
yeah.
100%. If you look at the way that Crosby is as a leader, I 100% believe that him and Mike Sullivan were always in each other's ear. 100%. I have no reason to believe otherwise. Malkin, Malkin, I can kind of see absolutely 100%, but not Crosby. Crosby's a leader. He's a team guy.
Then Jim saying maybe.
I would go up to John's.
John is saying, where's Brad? He sure was tooting his horn after the first Eagles-Giants game.
Yep. He's hiding in his cave somewhere like the troll he is.
I mean, I will say I was kind of shocked when I saw that the Eagles lost to the Giants too. I'm like, huh, really? Like, out of all the teams to lose to, you lost to them.
Jackson Dart has reignited the Giants organization.
Oh.
Jackson Dart looks very good.
Okay. I just assumed that the Giants were going to stink like they always do because they haven't been relevant in how many years?
They started that way. When Russell Wilson started. I think it was the first 2 or 3 games. Giants looked like trash, and then Jackson Dart came in, and that he's looked incredible. He's reignited that offense. That offense moves. It's unfortunate that Cam Scadaboo had that injury. He was looking unstoppable. It's just unfortunate to see what happened with that ankle, and obviously, wishing him, a speedy recovery. He had surgery in Philly. So obviously we send well wishes, and hopefully he's back for week 1 next year.
Absolutely. Hey, Eileen, how are you?
Hi, Eileen.
Um, LJ was saying, how about the Sixers 4-0?
Looking good. Looking good. EJ's looking fantastic. Tyrese Maxey's a superstar.
Winning is infectious. I think the Flyers getting their wins, I think, helped spread it over to the Sixers. So, as they say, winning's infectious.
Yeah, and the one thing I always say too is when you create a good culture in your locker room, it just breeds winning.
Right? And like I said, I think the way that this Flyers team's going right now, I think that that's starting to really get developed,
Spot on. And you know what? I said this during the offseason. I'm going to say it again here. What's up, SJM? Yo, where was my invite?
Yeah, where the fuck was our invites there?
Nerd. No. So what I was saying is you're bringing in all these guys that have personality. You bringing in all these guys that want to win. They want to play well. You bring it in and you put them all together, and you have personalities in TK, Zegras, York has a bit. It's you bring in all these guys together that know how to have fun together and all that. It breeds positive energy. It breeds good culture, and it breeds guys playing well, and playing well leads to wins. And like I said, I think with the coach that they have now, he's allowing them to be more of themselves and allow them to play their game to an extent. And with Pocket behind the bench, and again, having a head coach who understands the situations in each game because he's played it in basically every aspect that you can think of, as far as being an offensive juggernaut, being a defensive player, being a grinder, being a gritty player. He's been there, so he understands a little bit better and can explain and break down more in practice ways to fix it. I just don't think Torts was the guy to be able to do that. So I think this is a huge step. This culture that they're building right now, even going back into Torts, was awesome.
Right. And
whatever.
SJM saying, dude, it was through work.
Whatever, dude.
Eileen saying, Flyers for life, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
And Totoro 26 saying, we're undefeated in the shootout. Who would have thunk it? I know, right?
That's what happens when you have talent.
Right. Also, we might be living in the end times. That's probably why. So anyway.
I never did say when it was going to happen.
Right. Apparently, we were waiting for the Flyers to get good at the shootout. Who knew? So the Sixers, with a crazy comeback win, took it to OT and won 4-0. Then Eileen's saying, where's the Giroux jersey? I thought you were an Anaheim fan. Oh, why do you have a Giroux jersey?
Oh, I love Giroux. Giroux is one of my favorite players in the league.
I mean, G's a phenomenal player. I mean, hell, I have a Flyers jersey of him, but I might just spring and get me a Panthers and fucking Senators jersey of his because I love G that much.
I mean,
At the end of the day,
yeah, it's the same reason why I have a Patrick Kane jersey. It's the same reason why I have a Rod Brind'Amour jersey. It's the same reason why I have Chemo Timonen jersey. I collect jerseys for my favorite players, and I'm debating in the back of my head. We just got a Minnesota Wild jersey in at work that was kind of random. I'm thinking about buying it myself.
Interesting. Is it a Kaprizov one or is it a blank?
No, it was blank.
Oh, okay.
It was their alternate jersey.
Got you. You're right, Eileen. Giroux is freaking spectacular.
So am I.
Donda's saying, anybody got a Utah jersey? No, not yet.
Not yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I like the jerseys.
The logo, I think, is actually pretty good, though.
Jerseys are expensive.
They are. But I do like the logo. I do like the logo that they have.
It's grown.
Toto saying, if Zegras still a winger in the third line?
I think he's been playing in a couple of different positions. He's kind of all over the place. And right now, if I'm talking, I'm playing him top 6 minutes because of how good he's been. 9 points in 9 games, 2 of them goals. He's got an apple in just about every single game he's played. I can't keep him on the third line. I got to play him more often. He's a quarterback on the power play right now too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Zegras has been, like I said, like you've been saying, man, he's getting that swagger back to him. It's like, I love it. I love it.
He calls the scrum tonight. Like, that's saying, baby, I got my swagger back. Let's go. Like, can we get come on.
He's doing fucking like shit heel things too to the other team. It's just like, okay, and then this got some balls of steel rolling around up in here, to do some cheap shit like that. But okay, all right. I mean,
I love what I'm seeing from him.
He better be ready. That's all I can say. It's like, all right, man. Well, you're gonna have to defend yourself. You're gonna do chicken shit. Just saying.
Before we jump into the Jet talk, I do want to bring up something that I do like that I've been seeing over the last couple games. Sam Ersson. I'm still not huge on him. I still don't think he's going to be the guy. But I'm standing by what I said there. The one thing that I do like that I'm seeing from him is he's playing a little bit more confidence. I think that game against the Islanders kind of really got him going. And I know he gave up 3 goals in that game. But if you saw some of the saves that he was making, he really made some spectacular saves that really saved the game for them. Allowed it to get to the shootout, especially the third period and overtime. He was just absolutely spectacular. I saw the same thing again tonight. He third period and overtime, he was making save after save. Some of them were a little bit more dangerous than others. Just the fact that I think he's seeing the puck pretty well. He's going side to side pretty well. He's getting his glove in good position to snag some pucks. I mean, let's be real. Outside of the Crosby goal, Fly should have won that game. There should have been absolutely no way that Crosby scores that goal.
LJ was asking if Zegras gets a 1-game suspension.
No.
He
might get fined, but I don't think he's getting suspended.
Tim Totoro saying that Sam is the backup and that the other guy, Vladar, is our starter.
Tockett's saying otherwise, but
I mean, I think that Urson, I think what happened here is I think he's going through a bit of a confidence issue. I think that's
100%.
I think that's what the problem is. He's getting very self-conscious. And goalies they can be precious at times. So you got to be careful with that. So confidence is very key for them. And so I think that that's what he's going through right now. But with a win like this and getting a strong one in the shootout like that, I think that will do real big wonders for that as they move forward. I think bringing Vladar in, do I think it had the immediate effect that we wanted it to have? Maybe not. I think Vladar playing really strong at the very start of the season, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have helped. It might have instigated a little bit of Urson being a little bit self-conscious. I hope not, but I have no evidence to show for that. But I think Tocchet, though, saying what he has said and being that he has an investment on Urson, I think that'll also go a long way to show that, hey, the coach is backing you. The coach believes in you. This team believes in you. There's no reason to get worried. There's no reason to get self-conscious now. You'll be all right. I think that will help, with him as he moves forward, besides also getting the results that he needs to get.
But yeah, the results are coming in. I think we're starting to see that. And like you said, the confidence is growing. And I think the reason why we're not going to see the starter or like the official starter, Tocchet has come out and said he's just playing whoever's got the hotter hand right now. So whether it be Vladar or Ersson, outside of a back-to-back, you're going to see one or the other. He's going to alternate them until one of them really takes control. But I mean, if they can get to the point where Sam Ersson continues to play the way that he has been playing over the last couple games, it's a nice problem to have.
Right. I mean, again, we knew going into this that, it wasn't going to be a true starter. And I don't really think we have a true starter. It's a tandem. Vladar and Urson are a tandem.
Right, I agree. And like I said, it's going to be moving forward because, I mean, Vladar's been great. I'm surprised that he's playing as well as he is, and
I,
I'm hoping it levels Erison back to playing well enough. But I neither one of these guys to me screams I'm a starter in the NHL. But
I'm
if
not
they
a,
can tandem together, they're fine.
I mean, I'll be honest, bro. I'm not as surprised with Vladar's play because I think Vladar has something to prove to himself, if anything. After coming out of the situation he came out of in Calgary, I think he has something he wants to prove. Yeah, Wolf was
Yeah.
going to be the future, but I think Vladar wanted to show, like, no, I still have something to contribute at the end of the day.
Oh
And I
yeah,
think
and
he feels like this is it.
I don't think he's ever not been that guy. I don't see him as a starter. I mean,
Right.
if he was a starter, I mean, he would have stuck around in Calgary. But I mean, he also got pushed out the door by Dustin Wolf because he decided he wanted to be a superstar, which I don't blame him. But it's just saying that Vladar's career backup or career save percentages as a goalie is 897. His goals against is nice. I mean, he's slightly below league average. But again, this is a story of the Flyers just have two backups. They're just buying time to let Bjarnason develop, Zavragan develop, and get out of his contract in the KHL. Because I think those two guys are your future. Those two guys are the future. And they're just waiting for these guys to develop and get out of their deals so they can come up. Bjarnason, he could be up as early as this year, honestly, depending on how he's playing in the AHL. The same thing with Kolosov. Kolosov could wind up back up here. You never really know.
Right.
These
There's an
guys,
opportunity.
everybody outside of the two guys that are in the NHL right now, they're all still super young and they still have a massive upside to them. Kolosov just got humbled, and he needed to. He's playing pretty well in the AHL right now. He's not setting the world on fire yet, but he's playing pretty well.
It's a great learning curve. And, that's what he's going through.
I mean, his ego is through the roof, and
That's where
getting crushed the way that he did by the Flyers in the NHL. I think he absolutely needed it.
that's where I think the real challenge can be with, but again, young guy, thought he was hot shit. He comes into the NHL, he realizes, oh fuck, this is not like the KHL. Nope. Not at all. Not
Yeah.
even a little bit.
No, I'm going to try and see if I can find Kolosov's AHL stats. Here we go. Okay, so just for the year, just to kind of give you an idea, for the year, where are they? This is, what year is this? 25, 26?
Yes.
4 games. He's got a 2.5 goals against. He's got a 920 save percentage. That's 4 games, kind of a small sample size, but still, like, that's saying a lot of a guy who came in here and floundered in the NHL, floundered in the AHL last year. So whatever he did this offseason, he's got himself centered again. So that's saying a lot. These two guys are just here to buy some time. What's up, Chrome? Appreciate you checking in, bro.
Yo, Chrome.
I don't know why I yelled, but I did.
He couldn't. You had to make sure he heard you.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, we'll go with that. But again, these guys are just here to buy time. That's really all they're trying to do. They're buying time until these young cats are ready to go.
Yeah. Well, you have a good night, Eileen.
Good night, Eileen.
And Twitter was saying it's so great to have the Flyers back. I think we make the playoffs, but I'm probably delusional. We'll see.
I don't think you're delusional. I think they fall just short, but with the way that things are kind of panning out so far early in this year, there's some crazy shit going on. So you never know.
I'm not gonna comment. I don't want to jinx nothing. So I'm just gonna
sticking by what I've been saying.
I'm gonna enjoy the wins while we have them. Let's worry about the playoffs in March. LJ saying Stolars was a career minor leaguer that turned into a good goalie in Toronto.
That's my point. That's kind of my point.
Out of all the places, too, for him to thrive, Toronto, in a place where they just eat goalies up and
I mean,
spit them out.
he really started finding his he really started finding his footing in Anaheim.
Oh, yeah, good point, good point.
That's where he really started to find it, and then from there he just kind of carried it to Edmonton, to Florida, and anywhere else he was in between. So that's really where he started to find his footing was Anaheim, and he did the smart thing. This is the thing that I love and respect about Stoley so much, is that he rode the waves. You know, he wasn't trying to be, hey, I'm a starter, I'm this guy, I'm that guy. He bought his time. He learned from the guys that he played behind. And he had some good guys to play behind. Jonathan Gibson, Sergei Bobrovsky. Like, those are two of the better goaltenders to learn from. And he bought his time, got his opportunity in Toronto, and he took it. He took it and ran. So, tip of the cap to Stoley. I love it. I love it. Jersey boy, let's go.
It's interesting. I know the Islanders were trying to jump us in the draft for Porter Martone or offered us a huge deal. Do you guys know what the actual rumored deal was?
No.
Not really. No.
I know Pittsburgh tried to jump us to get Jack Nesbitt, but Nashville liked our deal better, which honestly was a better deal because Pittsburgh kind of forced the Flyers' hands. Flyers wanted them, but Nashville took the Flyers deal. That's the only deal that I know of off the top of my head that was leaked.
So, speaking of that, speaking of trade talk, have you been hearing the rumor mill about the Flyers taking calls on trading a D-man?
No, but it wouldn't surprise me. I kind of think they need to.
There's some rumors going around that they might possibly be looking into getting a top 4 defensive player.
I mean, I think they're at the point now where they need to start considering additions. This early in the year,
I mean, if anything,
it's
probably preliminary, so I wouldn't expect a deal to be made anytime soon. But I mean, hey, you could always do preliminary talks early on and just kind of get a feel of what's going on around the league and what people might be thinking of so and so. And, set things up for the trade deadline, possibly.
It depends on who, for me. It depends on who. If I'm adding right now, I am adding relatively young, top 4 defensemen in their prime. That's what I'm adding. Top 4 defensemen in the prime. I can't take another kid. If this team wants to add, they got to start bringing the talent in. I've heard Tippett linked to Buffalo. There's a couple guys on that roster that I would consider. I don't think they're going to get rid of Dahlin, which is fine. Just send Owen Power back. I'm just kidding. I do love Owen Power though. I think he's a stud. But if I'm adding a defenseman, mid-20s, mid to late 20s, top 4 defenseman. That's what I would do. But they have to start adding at some point. I think now is the time. They're playing well. I know we're not even 10 games in, but right now they're in a playoff spot. They're playing. I think above what I thought they'd be playing at this point. They're getting off to a good start. Build off it.
Right.
Build off it.
So with that, we could talk about Luchenko before we close out this edition of Flyers Talk A2D. Was there anything you wanted to throw out there with the Jet Luchenko being sent down to the OHL?
Just that I really agree with it. It's not so much that I don't think it's not gonna hinder or it's not gonna really hurt his development at all. The thing with a guy like Jet, he's one of your top prospects in the organization. He's showing signs that he's going to be a mid-6 center in the league. you can't guarantee him top line minutes or minutes that he's going to be able to really see the ice and kind of make his game grow, you can't keep him up here. That's going to hinder him more than him being sent back down. Personally, I would have rather him go to the AHL, but again, with the league changes, it's just that's not until next year. So he's got to go somewhere, right? He's not getting minutes up here. He's playing every couple of games, and when he is playing, he's playing like 12 minutes a game. When he's been out there, he's been pretty much invisible. So he's got to play. He's got to play top minutes, like Danny said in his presser after they announced that that he was being sent down. He's got to play top minutes. He's not getting it here. He's not getting it here.
Right.
He's got to go back down.
Right. Yeah. Put him to the place where he can grow, where
He's
he can
19.
develop.
He's 19.
No, I don't think Jet was a
Not
mistake.
at all. Not at all. He's 19.
No.
Like I said, he's 19. He
No.
still has a lot of growing to do.
No, I think Jet has a lot of potential. I mean, the Flyers traded up to get him. And I honestly, his first go around with the Flyers, I could see why. He was flying and he was able to get in on plays and he was setting things up real well. So the potential is all there.
Yeah.
It's just that, again, it's, you're either ready or you're not, and he's not ready right now.
And to me, if he's not 19, he's going to the AHL. So when he starts playing well again, you can bring him up. He looked good for the Phantoms in the playoff push. He put himself in good position. He, took smart shots, showed off his speed, got a few points. He looked good.
Right.
He looked good in his first stint with the Flyers last year, but apparently he's got a little bit of an injury, and it's kind of made him a little bit more invisible. I don't think it's a mistake at all. I think it's way too soon to tell.
All of the talent that is required to make it in the NHL, he has.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. It's just he's still very young, and give him time, and it'll work out. Not everybody can be Mitchkov, who can immediately come in. That you have to. Not everybody can be Couturier. When we drafted him, he was immediately on the team. It's like not everybody's going to be that. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but eventually they come in through. TK spent about a year on the Phantoms, and then he was up the next year, and he never went back.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It also depends on what age you're getting drafted. Jetlachenko was young when he got drafted. He wasn't even 18 when he got drafted.
Right.
That's the thing that a lot of people seem to forget.
Right. Mitchkov was like, what, 20?
Mitchkov was, I think he was 20.
Right. So a little bit older. Yeah.
And also playing in a very different league,
Right.
He's not playing in the CHL. He's playing in the KHL. He's playing in Russia,
Right.
He didn't drop because of a talent issue or an attitude issue or anything like that. He dropped because nobody knew when his contract was going to be done.
Right.
Which Danny was able to finagle Mitchkov to come over, but whatever. You got to love it, but with Jet at least, he needs time. Some of these guys need time to develop. Jack Hughes didn't look good in his first couple of years either, and now look at him. He's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolute stud. He's carrying the Devils right now.
Yeah, someone needs to.
His flylights are absolutely nasty, by the way. His skates, they are gross. I wish I can get a custom option like that for mine.
Well, all you got to do is get drafted into the NHL.
I mean, these are mine. Those are mine.
Oh, nice.
They're pretty sick, but they're not his. His are all white.
Well,
they're so gross. I'll have to try and find a picture for you and send it over.
Again, get drafted in the NHL, and there you go. Man. Problem solved.
Here's the problem, though. I'm trying to get in when everybody else is retiring.
Small semantics. No big deal.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, I think that's it for this edition of Flyers Talk A2D. We thank everybody for jumping into the chat here with us. The fam, once again, the lifeblood of A2D. You guys pushing us through. Those are nice. Those are
Look
nice.
at how dirty those are.
That is
Just
a beautiful
absolute
skate.
filth.
That's a
Oh,
beautiful skate
that's
right there.
nasty, nasty.
So next week here on Flyers Talk A2D, take a quick look here, see the schedule for the Flyers. Maybe, just maybe, with a little bit of luck, do we have a game? Yes, we do, because next week is November 4th for us, is it? Yes, it
Yep.
is.
Road game.
All right. So the Flyers at 7 o'clock sharp, they will be taking on for the first time this year the Toronto Maple Leafs. So our first game against Austin Matthews without Mitch Marner, as he is now a Vegas Golden Knight. So this will
Wait,
be.
what?
Wait, what?
Montreal,
Oh, sorry. I
not
don't know why I was.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto's the first. Toronto's Saturday.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
they play
Oh,
Toronto on
oh, yeah, you're
Saturday.
right. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, it is Montreal. Never mind. So the first time we'll be facing the Montreal squad that basically became the young pups that became world beaters last year that got into the wild card. So, all right then. There we go. Oh, and Mitch was 19. Okay, okay. Anyway,
That was close.
so the point being is that next week, Flyers will be taking on the Habs, and we will be giving you guys the review, if not some live reaction, depending upon how the game goes. So we'll see. But until then, everyone, you stay safe, you stay healthy out there. We are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. If you have any aches and pains, go hit up the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. And we hope to see you guys next week right here on a2dradio.com. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and hit the like, hit the subscribe, and the bell icon so that way you get all the notifications about A2D. Besides us here for the hockey side of things, you have wrestling with Lazy Booking. You also have football, basketball, covered by pretty much everybody else here on the platform,
The
and
Bills even cover
baseball.
hockey too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're
But the
not as good
point
as we are,
being,
but they cover hockey.
the point being is that we cover it all here at A2D. So don't be afraid to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit the bell. We will see you guys next week right here on A2DRadio.com. From all of us here, peace and love, everyone.
Be good to each other. God bless.